I'm just going to record on this. I'm going to record on this computer. I will upload it and make sure everybody gets it. Okay. So share screen. Okay. So just quick little 5-second recap. Professional development themes. We're going to October, November, going to be AI based, and the PLN can decide on what we will do in the future. So again, it's very fluid and very much community driven here. So. Okay, so the next MSET Higher Ed PLN, let's just get the business out of the way, is November 15th at 3 p.m. So we're trying to keep it that, was it that third Wednesday of the month? So this way it is, it becomes a very much, habit. So we can always meet at the same time and try and boost our numbers and just make things a habit. Okay, so artificial intelligence for instructional designers and technologists, and of course, this is also the higher education faculty as well. So there are a lot of tools out there. OpenAI opened up its doors, and it made it into something. It's making the potential and all the cool tools out there just amazing on what they can do. Let's see. I think the first one. So I'm going to go ahead and do two, and I know that I think Bill ended up showing just last time to the group last time, but it's I know that I had a bigger group here, and Alyssa's going to bring another couple tools. So Microsoft has their own free image creator. So image creator is a user-friendly tool designed. It is DALL-E. It's generated through DALL-E. The AI system. So that's the picture that I asked it to create. I asked it to create something kind of abstract. I said, create a digital landscape. So it's not quite what I was asking it to create, but it created something I think really cool. And it was just me playing it. So it's a versatile tool. It's perfect for a wide range of educational applications, from enhancing presentations to creating contents for books. The nice thing is there's no copyright restrictions. So it's created with you and AI working collaboratively to design and develop something really cool. I have another tool that I also played with, and that's I'll show you in a second. Anyway, Bing Image Creator, just go ahead and type in Bing Image Creator. It will come up with no problem. You hit create and you can start developing it right away. And it works with your Microsoft credentials. Maureen, what's the question?
So my question is, like, how would you cite this if you used it in your course? Would you just consider it your intellectual property, or do you have to include, so like if I made an image that I want my EdSite kids to look at or to do in some way, and I'm putting it in my online course?
So technically, copyright and of course citing, there's two different things. So when it comes to citing, I have no problem in citing. This is working with, I usually put it right at the bottom, created by, and I use whatever the tool is. A lot of universities are coming up with their own AI policy. I know that if, we encourage, if we have students creating something like a small excerpt or something like that, they can give ChatGPT credit for developing it, but we also discourage it, them completely writing upon it and stuff. So I still cite the things that I don't create, but I think technically you don't have to cite it. But when it comes to an image, I would cite it. Just always err on the safe, being cautious. So anyway, that was my quick little test of Bing. I'm not typically a big Bing user, but anytime they come up with a free tool, I'm all about using it. So, and this is something I showed last time to our folks, and this is helpful for instructional design because we know that we have to do a lot of transcription, and or we have to provide like at least a little introduction to whatever the link or whatever the resource they're going to click on. So I used Gist AI, which is a Chrome extension. I'm just going to hit escape real quick and show you what it looks like in the on Chrome, since it is. So here is still sharing. Yeah, I'm still sharing. Here is a video I created. It's just a little 2-minute video that I did for my faculty on taking their Zoom, what I'll do after this meeting, taking Zoom recordings and just putting up to YouTube. A lot of us are very comfortable with doing that, but not everybody. Not everybody that's in the ed tech realm, not everybody that's, you know, full-time, maybe faculty member. There might be some folks that are just not very tech savvy or comfortable. Just taking them and showing them that they can put a resource from Zoom and just have it up there as a video. So I showed them how to do that, or how to take this. So I created this video, this little short video. Gist is a Chrome extension where it will actually summarize either a video or a PDF. So if you can see over here, it even does timestamps for the video. You see where it says 131 share link that you can control access to. If you click on that, it will actually take you to the part of the video. So it's a nice supplement to a video. You could use it for a little bit of transcription. If you click on read more, it's giving me the transcript. It's not a very long video, but it's, you know, obviously, you know, transcription is a very expensive fee. You could supplement this if you don't have the fee for it. So that's Gist AI. So again, it's a Chrome extension, and it is free. I'm not paying for it. So have a chat. Let's see. Oh yeah, thank you. Lisa mentioned that. Was it postponed until March 10th through the 12th? Okay, so yep, Sarah, I made sure to record. Okay, sorry, I'm just making sure. Okay, and Lisa mentioned something about MLA style center with AI. Absolutely, it's and I always say go, you know, as a faculty, it becomes a very good topic to discuss what your AI policy is. I know that I made sure that it was put into place before everybody left for the summer last year. So that's Gist AI. So let me go back to where is there it is, Canva. Go back to it. And I'll do GenCraft real quick. Sorry, it's kind of going back and forth. Jeff was going to be with us, but he had a faculty meeting. We all understand how that is. Those meetings that just pop up. And I'm going to do GenCraft. So GenCraft is another one of those image generators that I just started to play when I found out that Jeff couldn't come. So let me pop it up here on screen, GenCraft. So I asked it to create, okay, should be, everybody can see my screen, right? Okay, so I asked GenCraft to create an image of higher education people meeting on Zoom to discuss new AI tools. And it created this. So not bad. I didn't want to refine it because I didn't want to keep on messing with my prompts, but not quite what I was looking for. But you can see that it's starting. So I would come in here and say on a Zoom screen, I would keep on refining the process. But you basically put the prompt in there, and it was a lot faster than the other tools that are like free. Like Bing took a while to develop. This took maybe 10 seconds to develop these images. I will say that you can tell that they are AI generated. Those faces are not looking good. But again, this is the free version. I'm sure if you paid for it, would be better looking and there'd be a lot more functionality. So this is GenCraft. So another cool tool. I am going to let Alyssa take over. She's probably even a better presenter than I am, so I'm feeling good.
No, not at all. Actually, if you could just click the screens for me, that would be awesome.
Yeah. What do you want me to do? Yep, sure.
That's fine. Just leave it at that. And by the way, at the end of this session, we have a Padlet board for you all to add to. So if you've got a bunch of applications in mind that you used, we are definitely going to do a share for that and share it out with everybody. So if you're excited to share something, please share it with us verbally. But then also we have a Padlet we're going to share with you. So I see a couple great ideas already in the chat. So this is Jeff's ChatGPT. Show of hands, how many of you are using ChatGPT on a daily? Yeah, like Ryan, 2 hands. Jeff just gave a couple examples here. I will add, and feel free to pop in the chat or come off a mute in a moment if you want to share how you're using it. I don't think there's anything new here, but I will say it has increased my efficiency so much. I mean, I just used it to help me draft a response to a rather complicated email, which involved multiple people. So, I mean, I'm using it for that. I'm using it as Teresa and I are developing a lot of fun and new PD for our faculty to like brainstorm topics and fun, catchy names for things that we're doing. Anybody else want to come off and share a way that you're using ChatGPT in addition to the ways that we've mentioned? Maureen?
Well, I'm an instructional designer and I'm also adjunct faculty, and a full-time faculty member is with me here today. Cindy, thanks for being here. She also teaches our ed psych or psychology full-time faculty, and we share ed psych. Cindy and I got this new course. Neither I taught it, right? She's doing the hybrid, I'm doing the online, and we have like new development to do all of a sudden. So I ran all of the stuff that we had through ChatGPT. So every assignment, every discussion, every prompt to clean things up. And then I've also used it for professional development, but even just like branding. I put a list today for names for our January professional development. I went, give me some list of names for this pedagogy, right? And it gave me all of these names. And then I'm using it to try to just refine ideas and see what the applications are going to be for students. Like that's what I'm trying to figure out for faculty, right? Giving them the best practices, giving them those strategies besides the ones here. I don't know. I put a post on Facebook or something last week or yesterday, I don't remember, that's gotten a lot of attention that, it's all my case studies I've written with ChatGPT. But the most important thing I think is that when we think about using this for instruction and as teaching and learning professionals, remember that we want to, embed that metacognition and that analytic part of human thinking versus the AI thinking, and that the AI doesn't have that reflection and that self-awareness. And as long as we build that into our courses and our design, I don't think we need to be scared, right? Because it reminds me of in the 90s when teachers were so scared of spell check, right? Like I can't live without spell check.
Thanks, Maureen. Anybody else want to share how they're using ChatGPT before we move on?
I do it for the reports. Oh my goodness. And I know Bill just ended up doing one of his reports for his PhD program. It's, there's a lot of boilerplate language that's very, it's very generic, but they have to hear about it. Just putting something in, if you put 2 paragraphs of some details, it can usually come up with something. I did mine from some CAPE reports that I had to write. So it really does help with reporting. Now, is it perfect? No, but it gives me like a framework to start from. And again, I'm going in and taking over the controls. So I don't feel like it's AI is just helping me to get started, a lot like Wikipedia would be. But it does kind of save in some of those aspects of writing up content that's summary based or introductory based, I guess is the best way to say it.
Yeah, and I also wanted to share, I think everybody knows, but I just want to make sure you know that if you're using, if you go to bing.com and click the chat bubble, that is actually ChatGPT 4. So you're getting that for free versus having to pay for a subscription. So I'm locked down on security here at Towson, but let me show you where it lives, so you can access it. So let me minimize my participant view so I can share my screen.
You should be able to here.
Yeah, I need to choose the right screen. There we go. And
there you go. I stopped sharing. Go ahead.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, so if you go to bing.com, you see I got an alert, but right here, if I can go back, there's a little chat bubble. If you click that little chat bubble, you may not have the same security I do being at a state school, but if you click that chat bubble right there, that is Chat GPT 4. So I use it on my phone all the time. So if you don't know, the advantage of that is that it's going and searching the internet. So you can utilize sources on the internet as well, and get less hallucinations. Of course, always double check, but I just wanted, there it is, not grayed out. So right here is where you can access Chat GPT 4 for free. So I didn't want to assume everybody knew that.
And just sorry, just to warn you
Yeah.
for the 3 if you're still using 3.5 and stuff like that, remember it's only pulling stuff from like 2021, so it's not super recent, just in case you just didn't know.
And Jeff is here, I see.
Yep, Jeff is here.
Hi, Jeff.
Hi.
Would you like to show Merlin?
I'm sure. I'll talk about Merlin.
Okay.
I
Let
can
me.
blow it up on the screen if you'd like me to, or what would you like, sir?
That's his
You can
next
put
tool.
up this slide.
Okay, let me do it.
That was a quick faculty meeting. Glad you're here.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Apologies for being late.
No, you're right on time.
All right.
Okay, can you see it?
No.
There it is. There it is. Yep, there you go.
I know. I always forget to hit the share button.
Yeah.
So, I'll give Alyssa credit for this one. So Alyssa told me about Merlin, and it's really cool. Right as she was talking about it, I was downloading it as a Google Chrome plugin. So it's kind of like an all-in-one extension. You can use it to streamline your work. It uses ChatGPT 4, kind of like Bing that Alyssa was just talking about. And there's other tools. I wasn't as familiar with Claude and Llama or other tools that are built into Merlin. But what it can do is when you're on a web page, it will pop up and it'll just summarize it for you. Or if you're in a PDF article, so say you have a long article that you want your students to read, and you like, well, what's the point of this that I can share with my students, say an announcement or something? It'll summarize the article for you, so you can start to pull out key points of it. It does that with YouTube videos too. I haven't tried it out yet, but that's another thing, is like, some really long YouTube videos that I might share with a student that I'm teaching. Maybe I can pull out those key points so they don't have to watch 27 minutes of a YouTube video. So some really cool things you can do with it. It can help you respond to emails and LinkedIn requests and things like that as well. Because what I've been doing is putting sometimes email responses in a ChatGPT, but this, I can do it right from my browser. So if you access like Office 365 on your browser or Gmail or something like that, you can have Merlin there as your little guide and plugin installed to help you compose responses directly within the browser, which for me is a time saver because I do a lot of copying and pasting from different things. So having something built into the browser like that, that's a plugin that goes to all websites that I visit, has been really handy. One way I've used it as instructional design, I just finished designing a course, was I would write a wrap up of every lesson or unit, and I would just right click on the pages, summarize, and then I'd build this list of summaries from the pages, and then I'd have a summary built, and then I'd use that summary to construct my summary page, and it made it a lot easier for me to do that.
Thanks, Jeff.
You muted Alyssa. I saw you.
Sorry, thank you. I actually have a screen up of the summary of a YouTube because I was prepared.
Oh yeah,
could
you show that? Yeah.
Yeah,
awesome.
Let me kick Ryan off.
Kick me off. You should be able to.
Are you introducing the new teams with Mike?
Yeah.
Okay. So what I did, I just ran it because I wasn't sure how long it was going to take, but it didn't take long at all. So it's an extension. So I have this little Merlin up here in my Chrome. And as soon as I go into YouTube, he comes up and says, do you want to summarize this video? And so I clicked it, and I love how he does it because I get my main topics, but then if I want to dig a little deeper and go, oh yeah, that's the part I really wanted to learn more about, I can expand it, and it gives me those sub points at that point in the video. So it's pretty nice. It's a little similar to what Ryan was showing earlier, except I like the visual breakout and of it a little bit more. I'm also, here it is. So if I'm on a web page and I want to summarize, I don't feel like reading this web page, I just want to get like a digest or an abstract of it, so I can put it in Blackboard and tell the students sort of what it's about. I can go to the page. By the way, 1HE is an awesome website for finding inclusive activities and celebrating diversity in your classroom. If you haven't checked out 1HE.org, I recommend that you do that. But let's say I wanted to get like a quick overview of this case study. I can come up here to my Merlin plugin. I can click here and say chat with this web page and summarize. And that's it. It'll summarize it. So it might take a while because it's kind of a long page, so I can come back and check it. But it's really that easy now. It is free. However, if you want to up your game and use like ChatGPT, I can't do it while it's doing it. Oh yeah, I can. I can increase the you know, the level of what it's using, and it's going to give me only so many attempts to use it during the day if I up it to ChatGPT 4. I don't think it's really necessary for summarizing an article because I'm not really having a conversation about it. It's just summarizing it. So just wanted to make you aware that there are different charges. It is free, but I guess it was like the amount of use you could have in a day with the tool based upon what back end AI tool that you wanted to use. So you can even change it to Ted Lasso, which is bonus points, or Barbie. So there you go. So I did stop the summarizing. Sorry to show you. So I'll let that run in the background, but it's going to do its thing right here. So that is Merlin. Anything else you want to add, Jeff? Did I do okay?
You did great, and thank you very much. But I
Yes.
noticed it costs 10 credits or whatever to use the ChatGPT 4. So using that Bing site would be it's a great way to kind of back end your way into
Yes.
ChatGPT 4 without paying for it.
Yep. And there's a summary came up. So thank you for
Wow.
chatting a little bit longer, Jeff.
Yeah, I'm gonna pull the trigger and just buy ChatGPT 4 so I don't have to deal with all the paywall and stuff like that, or just deal with the free and the version. I do want to discover how much more powerful it is. I'm sure it is. You know, I can only pay for so many tools, but I think I'm giving up my Evernote. I actually still pay for Evernote. I think I'm just
Oh,
giving.
wow. Hanging on, huh? I'm curious how many other people in the meeting today are paying for ChatGPT 4? Anyone? I think Steve Kirby, are you?
Yeah. Yes, I have an account, and I use it every day.
Every day.
In any kind of whatever I'm doing, whether it's email or teaching or responding or grading or doing instructional design, I just go to my best pal. So yeah, I pay for it.
Awesome.
I have a feeling
right.
it's gonna pay for itself. I really do.
Oh, it's the best $9.95 or whatever a month I have ever spent. Right.
Yep.
I like how Jeff just added, and Steve, you've said this before, like the guide on the side, the thought partner, like it really is like having your own little coworker with you.
And Copilot still hasn't come up, but I'm curious to see how that's going to change. When we still don't have it, and I don't think it's widely available, that's going to be the game changer when it's on students.
Do you want to explain to the group what Copilot is, just in case they don't know?
Oh, Copilot is what Microsoft has been teasing us about. It's essentially ChatGPT welded with Microsoft Word. So with your Word, you would have a little panel here with pretty robust AI. And what it does is it significantly changes the equation, because usually without, okay, here's AI and here's a person, but it works with you as you're writing, as you're doing. So it's a merging of person and AI in ways that's going to challenge grading and teaching writing, but how it's going to change our output. But there's videos about Copilot on the Google that are worth looking at. They just put one out about last week, but they've been teaching us about it for.
They have been. And then I guess you have to decide institutionally, and I don't know about all of you, having conversations with your IT departments about, will they allow that to, be released in our clients, right, in our enterprise. So interesting times of discussion about privacy and all those good things. I know at McDaniel we had discussion, Steve, before, about, it's just like putting your head in the sand if you don't, right? I mean, the students are using these things. It doesn't make sense to hide them from them. It makes sense to have discussions about it, to talk about prompt engineering and ways to use it, or they get to the workforce and they're not going to be ready.
Yep.
We may be on the threshold of an apocalypse, but step into the threshold. I mean,
right? Come on in.
Come on in. Everything's fine.
Don't hide, participate.
Oh my goodness.
I want to So Alyssa, Canva and Adobe products.
Yeah, can you just pull up that one slide and then you don't need to share anymore after that.
Yeah,
That way they see
absolutely.
the 3 tools I'm going to share.
There you go.
Thank you. So for my 3 tools that I use on the daily, I'm using Canva, which I think Lisa just left. I could tell she was a big Canva magic proponent. I'm going to share Adobe Podcasts, which Teresa and I have been using quite a bit, and then Adobe Express, formerly known as Adobe Spark. It's the new Adobe Spark, right? So Adobe Express. So Canva, yeah, well, the presentation you're watching today was made in Canva. I'm going to go ahead and get into a demo mode right now, but I use it for presentation starters, creating course banners, creating professional development advertisements for everything our Facet team is doing for the faculty. So if you're not familiar with Canva, go ahead. I'm going to share my screen.
I'm stopping sharing. Go ahead.
Thank you. I didn't want to be rude and grab it from you.
Oh, you can grab it. That's fine.
I'm taking over. Okay. So if you're not familiar with the Canva magic tools, get up there. If you go to Canva, and right over here on the left is the Magic Studio. You can, of course, access it from the top toolbar, but here it's a little more descriptive about what you can do. So you can come in here and have, this is where I go. Now Teresa's going to know my secret. She thought I was an amazing designer. Darn it. But I was coming into Magic Design to create like our little ads for our trainings that we're doing. So if I wanted to say create a, voice thread training, I can actually click start from media and go browse my computer if that logo wasn't already here, but I happen to already have it uploaded for our session today. So I'm going to click on it and it will actually design from a piece of media that you have. So it could be your college or university logo, and it will pull those colors into the advertisement. So it's going to give me a good variety of like, maybe I need a presentation, but then maybe I also need like the Instagram post that we're going to put up or share on our webpage. So it just proposes some ideas on layouts for you, and you're off. That's half the battle, isn't it? Just coming up with the layout and making things look visually attractive. So that is the Canva Magic Studio as far as Magic Design. And then the same thing holds true for the presentation. So I can come into Canva, I can click Magic Design for presentations, and it gives you now this huge tutorial on the right, which is kind of funny. But it really is just as easy as clicking here over in the left panel and stating what you want. And maybe I need a online module overview for lab safety, something like that, right? So it'll pull up its results that kind of match it, but what you want is the Magic Design. So you might have to pause and wait a little longer for those to come up. And I can hit see all. Let me zoom in a little bit because I don't know if I can zoom in. No, oh, there we go. That's a little better for you to see. Okay, so yeah, it'll come up and give me, these are like, 7 quick and dirty layouts that I can just take and customize. But what's pretty cool about it is it actually lays out some topics for you. So it's like creating a quick outline of things you may not have thought to incorporate, common hazards in the lab. It's got a place for objectives. So it's a good start. And that's what I tell the faculty, like encourage the students to use it as that starting point. I use it as a starting point. It's not the end all be all, of course, and you definitely don't want to take the information that's in there and just go with it, but it's a place to kind of like get it started. So it's a good presentation starter tool. So a lot of other things in Canva Studio. I don't want to get into too much right now because I want to make sure I get into the other items, but there's lots of resources online about Canva Magic Studio. So be sure to look that up. My next tool that I'm going to share is the Adobe Podcast, and it's found at podcast.adobe.com. It is free. Here's a little hiccup with that. Because it's free. So and I'm sure most of you on here being instructional designers or technologists have a Creative Cloud license. So if you have a Creative Cloud license, you just sign in and you'll notice it says to me premium access. So I think we all have that MEEC agreement where we get it at a really good price. Our students, however, do not get that really good price. We may be doing some virtual PC work to get them to be able to use it. So with that said, if you're planning to use Adobe Podcasts with a class or for your own personal use, or you're sharing it to an instructor, they need to know ahead of time. The students need to go and sign up for Adobe Podcast, because it is a 1 to 2 week wait until they get the account created and they get the email saying you're in. So just the little caveat with this tool, and it is amazing, and you'll see in a minute if you haven't used it how amazing it is, that build it into the lesson, right? Like week 1, we're going to be doing a podcast week 11 of this course, but week 1, I want you to go ahead and get on that wait list and get yourself an Adobe AI podcast account. Now, once you're in, and by the way, anybody can use this enhanced speech. Like if you go to podcastadobe.com today without an account, you can drag and drop something you've recorded and it'll clean it up like professionally. It'll sound like you're like in a padded room and you had all the filters and soundproofing on and the levels of your microphone. It cleans it up wonderfully. That is free for all. Although there is a time limit.
And say it sounds better than being in a recording room, because I've done many podcasts, as you know, and I was amazed at how well this filter works.
It is amazing. It is amazing. The real beauty of this program, so this is free for everybody. I think there's a time limit, like a 5-minute time limit for the free version. However, the real beauty of it is here in the studio. This is what I'm so excited to share with you. And this is where the students would go. So they would come to the studio. They would click, I've been using it as you see, they would click new project, and then you're in a studio. And at this point, if I was doing an informational podcast by myself, I could click record and it'll record and automatically start making a transcription for me as I'm speaking. Check this out. Podcasts are conversational, right? So I could click here and I could invite a guest, multiple guests, to come in here. And the way that it works is they'll get an email that says, Alyssa's asking you to join, your podcast room. You actually come in here and it's like you're in a web meeting. Even before you start recording, you can plan together, script, talk things out, work together, and then the owner of whoever invited the guests will be the one to click record. So it's really, really nice. You can even put an intro, outro music. It's all royalty free because it's Adobe. Lovely. So let me do a little, maybe this will work because I'm in a meeting. I'm not sure, but I'll do something really quick. So this is Adobe Podcast and it's recording me, and you'll see in a minute, it will create a transcription as well. Hopefully it grabbed my mic. I think it's processing it. So you can just go ahead, and I use it now for like any video that I'm making. I record in here and then I drop it into, like if I'm doing a voiceover in PowerPoint, I'll drop that sound file in there because it just sounds that good. I might have to come back because, oh, there it is. Okay. So it's a little slower, I think, because I'm running this meeting. So if I didn't want the word quick because I said, I'm going to do this real quick, and it called the word quick. Guess what? You want that out of your recording? Delete. Deleting the text edits your recording. So now that word is no longer part of my recording. No longer do you have to drag to a timeline and even it up and get it right where you want it. If I don't want to include a portion, or I spoke and then I messed up and then I spoke again, I would just highlight the part where I messed up and just click delete, and it's out of the recording. Think of the time you just got back with that. It's amazing. It's so amazing. So you could carry on and you could keep recording clips, and the next person could talk and talk and talk and talk and go back and forth. And when you're done, of course, you want to give it a name. When you're done, you just click download, and it gives you the text of the transcription and the WAV file. I just think that's so amazing. Anybody else think that's amazing? I think that's amazing. Done. Teresa and I did a webcast. We just tested. We made up a webcast, which we scripted in ChatGPT, and 15 minutes, Teresa?
Yeah, exactly. And it wasn't as if we couldn't have done it ourselves, but what we really wanted to do was to practice what we preach. In other words, if we're going to have this as part of our instructions to faculty, unless it's a scripting class in the communications department, right? But if it that kind of thing, just to have those instructions ready. Yeah.
Awesome. Has anyone else used the Adobe Podcast tool? So do you think you might use it after seeing it today to edit just by highlighting and clicking delete? I mean, wow.
Yeah, it's very really cool. I have to see if
Wow.
I can dust off my Adobe license and find it. So
Well, you can use this for free too. So just got to get on that wait list. So great tool. And again, that goes back to like the goal of the students doing a podcast, right? Is the content. It shouldn't be fighting with the technology. It should be the last piece. That should be seamless, right? I mean, we're not teaching them Audition. I mean, yes, there's GarageBand, there's Audacity, there's these high level things, but for the most assignments, we want the focus to be on the content and not on the tool. I think this checks that box very well. Okay, so then my next thing I'm going to show, let me go back to sharing. Oh, wait, this screen, sorry. I'm just like, Ryan, I got too many screens. So we did Adobe podcast. Hopefully you all love, love, love. The other one, I need to move this down so I can get to it, is Adobe Express. I was introduced to this at a conference over the summer. I actually met with a VP of sales for Adobe who got me all jazzed up on this. It was like still in beta and coming out. Adobe Express is, I think it's still in beta actually, is free. So, and there's no wait list for this one. So again, I have access because I'm Creative Cloud. If you're Creative Cloud, you also have immediate access to it and can get right into it and sign in with your current school license. So where I use Adobe Express, and yes, I know there's a lot of other tools that will do generative text to image. Here's the difference. I prefer to use Adobe Express because I don't have to worry about copyright. It's using Adobe's stock photo collection, which is huge. By the way, did you know with Meek, if you're a Meek member, you have access to Adobe stock for free. So if you have a Creative Cloud license, go to stock.adobe.com. You have access to all that. Used to not be included, and I guess in their new license agreement, we now have access to all the Adobe stock photos for free. But check this out. So not having to worry about copyright. I'm leading by example. I'm not, going out and just stealing someone's images to make my own. Here's a typical use of how Alyssa uses Adobe Express. So we're celebrating National Distance Education Week, the week of November 6th through 10th. And maybe we can all have a conversation about how your institution's planning to celebrate that. But so what I'm doing is each day I'm doing a pop-up appy hour where I'll be showcasing a different app throughout the whole week. And then we're going to have a face-to-face celebration with some cheese and crackers and sparkling juice, not wine, on Friday to kind of kick it off, and everybody gets a little gift who participated throughout the week. So I need a ad to advertise this. So I'm going to come in here to Adobe Express and I'm going to say, create a laptop with a blank screen and confetti, because it's a celebration. So where else would I find a laptop with confetti, right? I don't know, maybe Adobe stock has it, but watch what I'm going to do in a second when it comes up. Hopefully it doesn't take too long. That is kind of the downside of the AI stuff, right? You're just kind of like, okay, there we go. So here are some really great images that I can use in my advertisement. I can type text on here, put our logo on, whatever I need to do. But wait, there's more. My school colors are yellow and black, right? So maybe I should say blank screen with yellow and black confetti. See, this is what you can't quickly do in Adobe Photoshop. If you had the image, right, you'd have to manually change the colors. So there we are. Does this get you excited to come to National Distance Education Appy Hour Week? Hopefully, yes. So this is one way, and I can go ahead and I could add my text in here and type and put the logo in and all that good stuff, save it as an image file, and I'm halfway there to advertising my event. So that is Adobe generative text to image. There's generative fill. There's also great, you can come in here, maybe you got I don't know, an agricultural class. You could type a word and put it and let it be filled with like grass. It'll do that. You could say to type any word and make it look like bubbles or make it look like balloons, depending on what it is. Remember accessibility though, of course, make it easy to read. But so that's another text effect that it has. And I don't want to spend too much more time because I know I'm running out of time. And but there is a great area here called, let me just find it for you. I want you to play with it if you get it. Ugh. All right, I'll have to find it later. Oh, here it is. Sorry, I was on the wrong row. Animate from audio. You can actually come in here and make yourself a talking avatar. And if I click record, not only will it play back what I'm saying, if I move my arms, it'll move its arms as part of the recording. So the camera is capturing my arm movements in addition to my lip movements and syncing it up in a recording. Look at all these avatars you have here. So these are kind of fun for faculty to use, maybe to get some interest in their announcements or, exit ticket, to get the exit ticket talking. A lot of fun uses in here. I just wanted to show that to you. It is only 2 minutes. It's short, which is good. Should be chunked. But I did want to share that little feature with you. I mean, come on, if you're a math professor, how cute would that be? Okay, so I'm going to stop sharing to check and see if there's any questions in the chat. Did I go too fast? Are we okay? I saw we're short on time.
I think it's a good starter. It's a good overview of everything. And we're into our last 3 minutes. Did you want to launch the Padlet?
Yeah, I don't have that presentation up because I was clicking around.
Okay.
Do you still have it?
I'll get there.
Thanks. And we can keep this Padlet growing. So maybe I can grab the link and put it in the chat.
Yeah, I was just
So
up there. So what we're going to do is we'll share the link up in the chat box. There's time to share, like, what are your go-to AI tools that you want to that you use on the regular, maybe one that we haven't shared yet, one that you've heard about and you want to explore further. I know that there's what's the image creator, there's another one called, I think it's Midjourney. I haven't gotten to play with that one yet because I think that one costs money, but it's supposed to be even more amazing. But I don't have a need for it because it's, that's if I was into, high end, I need high end graphics for movies and stuff, and I just don't need it. But I've always wanted to play with it. If there's something else that is in here, let me click on the Padlet real quick. And then again, it should be up.
And I did put it in the chat too.
Okay.
Ryan.
I'll just go right into the chat real quick. It'll be quicker.
And this will be a good kickoff for our next meeting.
Yep. So this will be a good starter. So next meeting will be a little different. Although we might find 1 or 2 tools, we'll try and include the tools that you're including up here. If there is a tool that you use that's AI driven that we didn't include, or that's something that's your go-to, please go ahead. I know that mine was that I've shared before and I shared previously was let's see, it was there we are. Let me go, is Chat PDF.
Yeah, that's a good
one.
I
absolutely love. I use it.
And we'll add the ones we shared today too, so it's all on the same board, so you're not having to go back and forth.
Use it to summarize PDFs. And helps with literature reviews.
Cindy, that will be great. We should have some time in our next meeting for exactly that, to discuss navigating AI with students and how that's been working at each institution, because each institution has different policies on that, right? So, or maybe not even a policy yet.
Right. That's what I was going to say.
Guidance.
They don't have them at all, and so people want to hear about the ones that do. I mean, I'm doing a lot of research here at HCC to bring that to our elect team, which is our campus-wide e-learning committee, and then to help with some policy. And our provost and associate vice president are asking for faculty input on this, and we don't have policy, and faculty are really struggling. I mean, I'm struggling myself. When you have somebody that hasn't done the analysis, hasn't used the human thinking, hasn't shown that they have mastered the content, and all they're doing is just using AI, and we have nothing. We just have to let it go. I mean, that's kind of how people feel, right? Even if we can get them to say, yes, I used AI, this is not my work, then what? Right? It's not in our student conduct policy. It's not in our academic
right. Yeah, we can definitely make time. We'll make time to have some water cooler discussion for that for sure. Ryan, what do you think?
Yeah, I think it could fuel our next. Please come to the next one. It'll be the 3rd week of November, and it's absolutely crucial because that AI ethics is also a big hot topic. Not only do we love using the tools, but we also have to discuss how they could be used, not just in higher education, but there's also the K through 12, and you know, what's that argument about, you know, is it cheating? Is it not cheating? You know, copyright, it's not a copyright infringement if you use it, you know, how do you cite it? So I think that would be a nice rich discussion for next time. So absolutely, that could be our main topic. Again, we're trying to make this organic. It's a PLN, so it should be driven by what you all are interested in, and that sounds great. All right, so I am going to be respectful of the time. It is 4:02. I want to thank everybody for coming. A great turnout, very participatory, very active. I'm hoping that you had a couple really good takeaways and stuff like that, and I hope that you will come back